The coronavirus pandemic and the quarantine restrictions aimed at curbing it have had a negative impact on the world economy. According to the UN report, World Economic Status and Prospects, in 2020, world GDP fell by 4.3 percentages. The Ukrainian economy also suffered negative consequences. At the present stage, one of the most pressing is the problem of curbing excessive price growth. The implementation of measures to maintain a stable level of inflation becomes the most important condition for the implementation of monetary policy of the state. To curb excessive price increases, mathematical modeling of inflation based on scientific analysis is needed. The paper examines inflation processes on the basis of the monthly consumer price index (CPI) in Ukraine for the period from 2010 to 2020. According to the official website of the State Statistics Service, the consumer price index shows the general level of inflation in the economy and is an indicator of living standards and socio-economic development. The value of the CPI is difficult to overestimate, as it directly or indirectly affects the living standards of the country's population. The constructed trend equation shows that CPI prediction using standard time series prediction methods is not possible because the correlation coefficient is very small. The plotting of the histogram confirms the premise. The series has neither a trend nor a seasonal component. So to make an equidate forecast, you need to use heuristic methods of time series analysis, the Holt-Winters model or exponential smoothing, Box-Jenkins model. The Holt-Winters model, or exponential smoothing with a linear trend and seasonality, is the progenitor of adaptive forecasting methods. The complete procedure consists of 4 steps. Thus, on one hand, it is necessary to increase the statistical range and then more correctly choose the smoothing coefficients. Finding compromise values of A, B, Y is the task of model optimization. One of the important components is the choice of coefficients that affect the forecasted error and subsequently the accuracy of the forecast. ARIMA of Box-Jenkins model is an integrated model of after regression, variable mean, and time series analysis. Is an extension of ARIMA models for a non-stationary time series that can be made stationary by calculating the difference of some order from the original time series. The ARIMA model, PQD, means that the time series differences of order D obey the ARIMA model PQ. To build the model, we use the time series and forecasting model of the STATISTICA package. To find the optimal values of the model parameters, we use the search on the grid command. As a result, the following optimal parameters were obtained. Exponential smoothing is 0.8, trend component is 0.1, and seasonality estimate is 0.1. A summary of the error is shown in the figure. Absolute error mean and the mean of squared error is small, which indicates the adequacy of model and high prediction accuracy. The forecast for 10 subsequent periods is shown in figure. The relative forecast error is very small, less than 1%. Therefore, forecasting the indicator using the Holt-Winters models show good results. To illustrate the adequacy of the model, graphs of real and simulated consumer price indices are built. They are shown in the figure. We will build an ARIMA ARIMAS model using automatic search for ARIMA model parameters. As a result, the model we will build in ARIMA ARIMAS model using the automatic search for ARIMA model parameters. As a result, the model P is 1, Q is 1, PS is 1 was proposed as the best program. Seasonal lag is 12. Table shows the forecasting results for the next 12 periods for a year. Calculate the relative forecast error. Comparing the predicted values with the real values, we obtain the relative forecast error of 0.1% and 0.35%, which is worse than the Holt-Winters model, but it is quite acceptable for analyzing the dynamics of inflation. Figure shows a plot of the ARIMA model with a predicted interval. We are convinced of the adequacy of the obtained the ARIMA ARIMAS Box-Jenkins model by analyzing the histogram of residuals and normal curve. Conclusion. Analyzing the dynamics of the consumer price index in the period from January to 10 to September to 20, it can be concluded that the inflation at the level of 5–10% per year is typical for the Ukraine economy. 2014 and 2015 were especially critical, after which the government managed not to only reduce the inflation rate, but also to maintain the growth of the consumer price index at 5% per annum. The processing of the consumer price index array with the help of applied programs proved that the indicator is characterized by high levels of seasonality, and trend component cannot be approximated by elementary functions. At the same time, the use of Holt-Winters and Box-Jenkins methods made it possible to build models of inflationary processes with high accuracy. Forecasting the indicator for the beginning of 2021 showed that despite the crisis in the economy associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, there are no reasons for increase of the inflation rate. For a deeper study of the reasons for the increase in the consumer price index, one should consider the change in the value of its individual components, the relationship of the indicator with the exchange rate of the national currency, and the gross domestic product. Thank you for your attention.